Hello everyone, my name is Melissa and I'm going to teach you how to turn a photograph or a picture into a vector graphic. I'm going to teach you how to do it with Adobe Capture CC, which is a free app that you can download on your iOS or Android device. It's really nifty for a number of reasons. The main reason is that if you wanted to change your picture into a vector drawing before, you would have to go through a lengthier process using Photoshop and or Illustrator, and it would take a couple of steps to make it look like an actual drawing. With Adobe Capture CC, you really don't need to know that much. It's really intuitive. Think of it like adding a filter on Instagram or drawing a few things here and there on top of your photo, and within that, with Adobe Capture CC, you can create a drawing within a couple of minutes. What's even better about this is that even though it's free and it's by Adobe, it can save the pictures format can save into an SVG, which is a scalable vector graphic. So that means that you can keep using freeware. If you need to edit your vector drawing on the computer, you can use something like Inkscape rather than using something that you need to pay premium for, such as Adobe Illustrator. Right now, this tutorial, I will be using an Android device. I'm pretty sure there are differences between the interface of an Android and an iOS device, but even though the buttons may change around, everything else should pretty much stay the same, so you can use it too, hopefully. So we've got everything downloaded and we've signed in, so this is how it should look like, at least on an Android device. It might be a little different in if you use an Apple device, but we should be able to do the same things on them. So what I want to do is I'm trying to create a vector drawing from a graphic, and that is what we're on right now, which is shapes. You can see that I've already created two things, one for my knitting and one from another leaf from my garden. But there's actually other modules that are really interesting that I'm not going to cover, which is pattern, colors, brushes, and looks. All we need to do right now is go to shapes. So once you're ready to actually get started, click the plus sign when you're under shapes, and it'll open up your camera right away. And you can see that it's already started to draw whatever your camera's seeing right now, which is my curtains. So this slider here adjusts the brightness. So what do you actually want to keep in your vector drawing? Try to, get the distortion away and all the noise away. And to help that, you can click on your torch. This middle button up here actually inverts it, so black turns into white and vice versa. And the top right will change your camera from back facing to front facing. The X will bring you back to the module. The bottom will actually take the photo if you want to use it right here. But for real, I just went back there. What I want to do is not use my camera. I already have a photo in mind that I took a few days ago. So you can see that once you click that bottom right, it'll open up and ask you where you want your photo from, which is Creative Cloud. If you have, a CC account already and you have photos on there from Photoshop or whatever, your gallery from your phone, so that's something you downloaded or took a picture from, and Adobe Stock, which is their online database of free or paid pictures. So I'm just going to go to the gallery and look for a photo I took a few days ago of a vine leaf in my garden. So you can see that it's pretty similar. There's the slider to kind of choose what you want. You can invert it. There's also this wand, which is auto clean. So it's trying to just take away some of the noise of your photo and, smooth it out. I don't actually like auto clean, so I'm just gonna turn it off by selecting it again. I think that's good enough, so I'm going to select the camera and it'll give me my picture. So you can actually do two things when you're editing, which is refine or crop. It doesn't matter which order you do it. I prefer to crop first, then edit later, because then I don't have to edit as much. So when you're in crop, to select where you want your photo to be, just drag the corners. You can also rotate your picture by using this slider here. You can still keep resizing, or you can even rotate your canvas counterclockwise or clockwise. or backwards. So you can rotate your canvas clockwise. And I'm just going to adjust again. And once I'm happy with my picture, I want to get rid of the background, so the brick wall, part of the trellis, another leaf that's behind there. I'm trying to get rid of all the noise. So there's actually, in Refine, there's 4 buttons: select, deselect, erase, and undo. So deselect is, it tries, when you click on part of the picture, it'll get rid of it. It turns it gray, so you know what's deselected. I like this feature more than brush, but it's still in its infancy. I mean, you can swipe it. Oh, I just deselected everything. I'm going to try to select the things that I want, which are obviously the parts of the leaf. I mean, it kept part of the brick wall in the trellis. So I've selected, I think, everything that I want to keep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the erase tool. The erase tool really is a brush, and it's like 100% opacity. The gray parts, remember, I'm already deselected, so I don't really mind. So you can't really change the brush size for the erase tool, which is one of my peeves, but you can kind of zoom in your picture. I would say you select or deselect and then pinch to zoom, because the problem is when you pinch to zoom with erase, sometimes you'll erase part of your picture and you might not notice, so you won't undo, and you'll erase a really extensive part of the photo or something really hard to erase, and then you'll zoom out again and you're like, whoops, my whole picture's gone. So I'm editing. It's a little difficult. Don't worry too much. Select that, and I'm going to, if you need to span or move across your photo, you can just use 2 fingers to drag. I want to get rid of part of the trellis, so I'm going to erase that as much as I can. Can I get that? Yes. Whoops. I guess there was always something there. This part's a little hard to tell, but I think this is not part of the leaf. I know there's a deep part right there where these dark lines are. That's part of another leaf. I don't think I can really do anything since I can't change my brush size, which is unfortunate. Probably want to keep that. I mean, I can try to erase a little bit of it. maybe taking that part, not using that part, might make it a little more. Maybe it's this part. Okay, so I think that's what I want to keep as my picture. Remember that the gray here at the bottom of that brick wall will not be kept because I deselected it, and I'm going to click the right button. So this is my rendering that Adobe Capture made. You see this off on here, it's actually smoothing. You can see that it makes it just look a little more polished if I click smoothing, but maybe you don't want polished. As polished, you want it a little rough around the edges. But you can see that I've made a really quick rendering of a leaf of a vine. It's pretty nice, it's pretty fast, it didn't take me hours, it took me a couple of minutes. I'm happy with it, so I'm going to click to select the right button again. And I'm going to, where's my, there it is. I'm going to rename it to something like Vine Leaf. And I'm going to save it. So, in this photo here, this is my picture. Now, if I wanted to use it, I can click share and I can open it. I can send it directly to Illustrator or Photoshop on my laptop and open it and begin using it and editing it. But hey, if I don't have Photoshop or Illustrator, I can still, edit it later. And what I need to do is export as. You can actually send it as PDF or an image to someone already. But I want to export it as an SVG so I can use it on freeware. And you can send it as an SVG, an email, or whatever, but you can definitely do something with it. So there you go. That's how you make a vector drawing. You might find this, I hope you find this useful. I am Melissa, and thank you for watching.